This show is sponsored by Great Kingdom Palace, giving life a meaning.
Welcome everybody to Get Closer to the Truth. My name is Amit Kane and I'm the author of the book, The Gift, The 7 Laws of Success. And I'm on a journey, called it a quest, to bring to you people from all over the world into these studios and to your television screens at home on reasons why we are here on this physical plane called Earth. Now today's show is all about transformational energy. But before I talk to you about today's very special guest, I'm going to share a small story about myself. Now, back when I was in business, the very first time round at the tender age of 25, my mind was always outward, chasing cars, chasing businesses, chasing wealth, chasing property. And I was never really, if you like, happy, or was I really actually at peace. And what I found is that I was chasing all those things for one reason only. And what was that reason? Power. I wanted power. Charlie Chaplin quotes, "Man only needs power to destroy something harmful. In order to get things done in life, all we need is love." And I've now realized this after my spiritual awakening. All we need is love and compassion in order to get to our soul destination. But imagine that if we could have somebody helping us, transforming us, without someone hitting rock bottom in order to take us, if you like, to where we need to be. Today's guest, he is internationally recognized. He's got over 30 years experience in working with energy. But not only that, he is the creator and founder of Energetic NLP. I don't know what NLP is, but the man that does, Art Giser. Let's please welcome him on board. How are we doing? Good to see you. Take a seat.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming down, Art, all the way from the US.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
So, tell me your journey. How did it all begin?
Well, I was always somebody who was very adventuresome as a kid. The first time I came to Europe, I had a pack and a one-way ticket, had no idea what was going to happen, had almost no money. And then I ended up getting really stuck in life. And I had a good job. I managed a research lab for the University of California Medical School in San Francisco. And it was a good job. I was proud of the work we were doing, but I knew I didn't belong there. And I was stuck. And my family, my friends, they'd all kind of look at me funny because I was always adventuresome. And I didn't know what was going on with me. And I'd always had this belief that something was just going to show up. But at a certain point, I thought maybe I'm just fooling myself. And then I saw a flyer on the wall, and it said something about neurolinguistic programming. And I literally, it felt like a bolt of lightning going down my midsection. And again, I was a scientist. I was very logical. And part of my mind went, what was that? And another part of my mind went, well, it was a sign. And I had this kind of internal argument and went out and read an NLP book and was immediately hooked and took my first real class in it. And it was immediately, knew it was the right place for me to be. And luckily for me, it was in Northern California, and there were a number of people who were into healing and energy work. And they started telling me about different great teachers. And I've never looked back since then.
Excellent. So what is Energetic NLP?
Well, NLP stands for neurolinguistic programming, and we all hate the developers for naming it that. And it started in the 70s as an alternative to traditional psychology. And rather than going, what did your mom do and your dad did and why you're stuck now, we looked at how does a person manufacture their internal reality, and how does that create their strengths and weaknesses, their skills and problems. In NLP, it can be quite magical. You can rapidly change beliefs and heal old wounds, open up new abilities. And like anything else, it has its limitations. At the same time, I was learning energetic healing and psychic development and intuition development. And I realized if I put together the best of what I was learning, I had something that was like 1 + 1 = 10. So Energetic NLP was born out of my putting together the best of what I'd learned and then some original things on my part.
So if I came and seen you and said, right, okay, Art, in the day, I'm looking to, use your formula, if you like, of NLP, what kind of things, because obviously you teach and you coach, people from corporate companies, typically what would someone come and see you for?
It's really a huge range. I mean, many people come because they have problems or emotional pain. Other people come not because there's anything wrong, but they just want to go, what's my next step? Most people are aware that so much more is possible for them than they actually actualize in their lives. So a lot of people come just to see what their next step is. And in the corporate arena, I don't necessarily talk about energy work, but there's ways that you can, on an inner level, find out from somebody how much permission you have. So I use energy with them, and a lot of times I go, that was kind of magical, or something like that. And but I'm not trying to change their belief systems about it or proselytize. Now, with my own workshops, then I very much teach what I believe.
Excellent. Now, I looked at your website, and very, very interesting stuff. And you say on there that people are not running their own lives on what, and so, in terms of, so what do you mean by that?
Well, first of all, I hate that it's true. I'm somebody, again, I was raised to be very logical, and I'd like to believe I was the captain of my ship and all of that. But nowadays, almost everybody knows that unconsciously we're programmed, and a lot of what we do is a result of childhood programming. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The human energy system, which is in and around the body, is like any other part of your body. It gets dirty. And so when you and I are talking, we're mixing energies. And our energies, it isn't whether they're good or bad, but your energies contain your thoughts and your beliefs. My energies contain my thoughts and beliefs. And as people go through life, they start running their lives based on what they think is authentic to them, but it's really other people's emotions, other people's beliefs. So even when we were in our mother's womb, we started absorbing energy from our parents. So if one of your parents was anxious, you can absorb that anxious energy trying to heal your parents. And then 50 years later, you're going, I don't know why I'm an anxious person. I've always been anxious. And the thing is, you can't really solve it within yourself because it's not your issue, but you can learn to clear other people's energy out. So I think people would be dismayed if they realized how much of their life was being run by other people's energy.
Wow, amazing stuff. And you're so right. Obviously, you can go and see somebody, and it's like they might, if you like, talk to them, and they could. It's like, you were kind of rubbing off on them, So they might say, okay, you know what, yeah, you should be going in this direction, and then you kind of follow that. And sometimes you're actually following other people than actually doing what you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah. And for people that this isn't a strange idea, it's why do people go to public sports? People talk about the energy of the crowd. If you go to a movie that's scary, it's much more frightening in a movie theater because you start feeling everybody's energy. If it's a love story, it's much more tender. But you can see it at home, and some people have huge screens, but it's just not the same because you don't have the group energy.
That's so true. That's so true. So, okay, so what makes energetic NLP different from like other energies like healing or intuition? What's the difference?
Well, I want to freely say I've had wonderful teachers, and I've taken from all of them. One of the things that's different about it is I don't want people to believe what I tell them. And I'll start off my workshops making them solemnly swear they won't believe what I tell them. And people start laughing, and I go, I mean it. It's like my job is to help you find your own inner wisdom and connect with your own spirit, which will always be better information than anything I can tell you. So my job is to help open people up to what's deeply inside of them.
Okay, well, it sounds very interesting, okay, but now obviously there are always skeptics out there, Art. There's always people that are kind of thinking, yeah, right, that doesn't work. What would you say to those type of people?
Well, first of all, that I like skepticism. I don't like people being closed, but I like skepticism. Again, I was raised to be very logical, and it frightens me when people believe things just because they're told them. But there's a difference between skepticism and being closed. So I'll ask people, don't believe what I'm telling you, try it out, see what happens. And there's a mythology that there isn't scientific research to back healing and energy work. There's actually masses of it. A great deal was done in the Soviet Union and then Russia, but it's done all over the world. And here in the UK, Rupert Sheldrake is one of the people known for. People can go on YouTube or read his books. He talks about it. Dean Radin in the US. There's a great deal of scientific research on energy and healing work that's very, very convincing. It's very hard to get it published. They did one at the University of Arizona where they took rats, and if you play loud music, the rats get stressed, and they can hook them up to medical instruments and measure their stress levels. Well, if somebody sends them healing energy, their stress level goes down. Now, I don't think that this is a placebo effect. The rats aren't going, oh, the nice person's sending me healing energy, so I'm going to relax now. And they can have people just hold up their hands, and it doesn't work. So that's just one example, but there's a lot of very, very convincing scientific research that human energy is real, and they can measure that people have energy fields. They can't measure some of the energy we're talking about yet, but the heart, the brain, all over the body, there's energy fields that scientists measure. So the idea of this invisible forces is no longer woo-woo. And the last thing I always say to people, well, if you don't believe in invisible energy, ever heard of gravity?
So true, yeah.
We can't see it. Science really can't explain it.
No.
But
it exists.
It exists, and it influences everything in your life.
Well, this sounds very, very interesting, and I love I love what you do, because I find energy myself very fascinating. So listen, I want to put you to the test. We're going to take a short break, but would you mind, when we come back, on the audience, live on TV, doing something where these viewers can take home with them? Do you mind doing that?
Oh, I'd love to.
Great. Well, listen, don't go too far. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Art's going to go and do something with the audience, so we'll see you soon. Welcome back to Get Closer to the Truth. Now, just before the break, we were speaking with Art Giser, and he was talking to us about transformational energy, NLP, and it's fascinating stuff. And we were just basically talking to Art, and he's going to do a demonstration with our live audience. So, are you ready for that?
I am.
Let's do it then.
Great.
Floor's all yours.
And by the way, those of you who are watching this at home, you can go along with it too. Human energy doesn't really depend on location. And in physics, they talk about energies that are non-local and also non-temporal, meaning that if you pretend the energy is flowing as you're watching this, you can feel it at home too, as long as you're not in a car. So again, the basic idea, and I'm not asking you to believe this, just pretend this is true for a minute. So you have this energy field in and around your body, and like everything else, it gets dirty. And you have the power to clean your energy field, because energy will follow thought. Energy follows your thought and intention. And it doesn't require any effort. If you find yourself working hard at it, just relax. If you were 5 years old and I said, fill the room with sparkling gold energy, I would have to put my sunglasses on, because you'd all do it and you'd giggle and you'd think it was funny. And then we grow up and we go, am I doing it right? Or other people doing it better? So just play along with this, have fun with it, and see what happens. And a really good symbol to use, and we use symbols a lot in Energetic NLP, is the idea of a magnet. Because almost everybody as a child has played with magnets. And we know that magnets are these little things that have invisible energy. And you can take like a pin, and if you let go of it, the magnet will pull it. So you don't have to do any effort. You just let go, and it goes right to the magnet. So I'd like you to pretend that out in front of you is an energy magnet. About as big as I am, which is not all that big, but about as big as I am. But don't put it here where I'm standing. Put it over there, please. And I'd like you to ask your own inner wisdom and your own spirit, and you may not believe you have an inner wisdom or spirit, but pretend along. Ask your inner wisdom and spirit to identify the energy in your energy field that's not authentically yours. And then put a magnet out there and just give the magnet permission to pull out of your body an energy field, any energy that's not authentically yours. And just notice how you feel as you do that. And then drop that magnet into the center of the earth. Let the earth just recycle the energy. Put another magnet way above your head, and imagine it clearing your energy from your shoulders up through your head and going up above your head about 3 meters, 9 feet. And just imagine energy is coming off and going to this magnet high above you. And drop that down into the center of the earth. Now, this is my favorite. Put a magnet behind you, and if you're in the front rows, don't put it in the lap of the people behind you. Put it in the back of the room. Imagine there's a big magnet back there, and let it clear the whole back of your body and energy field. A lot of energy hides behind your back, so let it just go off to the magnet. And then drop that magnet into the center of the earth. And then put one more magnet in the ground below you and let it clear from your waist, the base of your spine, through your legs and feet, the whole lower part of your body, and let that go into the earth. Now, it isn't just that other people's energy is in your energy field, you're doing the same to other people. So you want to be able to retrieve your energy. If you've ever been around people and felt really drained later, it's because you've left a lot of energy in their space, often trying to help them. So imagine above your head, high above your head, is a golden ball. And ask your wisdom and spirit to use that golden ball to retrieve your energy from wherever you've scattered it. Let it just pull it back into that gold ball. Now, if you have very young children, it's appropriate to leave some of the energy in their space. But if your young child is 14 on up, pull your energy out of their energy field. And your friends, your family, your parents, your coworkers. And then the gold ball cleans up your energy, and what was ever authentically your energy just gets sent down into your body and energy field now. Along with gold energy coming in and filling any space that was left in your energy field, and any more of your own essence that your own wisdom and spirit wants to draw in can be brought into your body and energy field. Now, that little process, and that's it, is something, if you like it, I recommend you do it at least once a day. If you do that in the morning, right when you wake up, and it takes 2 minutes, you'll feel like you had a cup of coffee, you'll feel much more energized, more eager to greet the day. If you do it before you go to sleep, you'll sleep better, you'll get deeper rest. If you have a big meeting at work, do it real quickly before you go into the meeting. If you're going to go visit your family and there's going to be tensions, do it before you visit your family, while you visit your family, after you get back home. Any time when there's a lot of energy flying, and it will really change your whole experience. Doing that every day over time really can change your life.
Wow, powerful stuff. Thank you, Art,
Sure.
for sharing that with us. Take a seat. So how long do you think we should be, once in the morning, and how long does that usually take we should do that for?
Well, it's the sort of thing, if you have a lot of time, sometimes somebody could take 5 minutes, but if you have 10 seconds, just boom, 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 do it.
Wow.
And I will teach people in organizations to do it before they go. One other thing, and this is something we use a lot in the corporate work, but any kind of group thing is, solid matter, as I know you know very well, isn't solid. There's a lot of empty space.
Yeah.
And you can set the energy of a room that you're in. So right now, if everybody pretends that gold energy is coming into the walls and ceilings, not from us, but from the spirit, the universe, God, and earth energy is coming into the floor, in just a couple of minutes, you can make the energy in a room better.
Wow.
Or
wow.
Again, with family and my corporate work, if people, I work a lot with teams, and if the people are unhappy and there's heated discussions, I'll imagine a magnet outside the room, and I'll clear the energy. And then you don't want to use energy to force people to do anything, but I'll clear the energy of the tension, and I'll bring in energies of collaboration. And in a minute, the whole meeting will change. People will start collaborating.
Absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. So I want to move on to something else. And on your website, we was talking about kind of using energetic NLP in kind of enhanced relationships. So how can we use that? What can I take away from that? So how can a little tip?
Okay, well, for one thing, using these magnets to clear your energy will help all your relationships in setting the energy in a room. So like if there's a family gathering, I set the energy in the room again and bring in energies that will help whatever relationships are going on, whether they're intimate or whether they're family or whatever level. And I want to stress again, you don't use the energy to force anybody. It's like when you throw if you're inviting people to dinner. You try to set an environment that will make them comfortable and happy. You don't try to force them, hopefully, to be happy.
That's right.
And if I'm in an interaction with somebody where it's really negative, I ask them on an inner level if it's okay, and I'll clear their energy. So I'll put magnets out and just clear their energy, but not so if you and I were in an intense interaction, I would ask your spirit, is it okay to pull energies that aren't helpful out of your space? And if I feel like no, I don't do it, but if I feel like yes, I'll clear those energies and imagine more of your essence comes in, and the same with myself. And then the interaction will shift. It might be that I'm the one who shifts, but the whole interaction shifts.
No, great. Well, powerful stuff. So listen, can you tell the audience and the viewers at home how they get hold of you? What's your website?
Okay, my website, the long name for it is energeticnlp.com, but the easy way to get there is just enlp.com. So E for energetic, enlp.com. I'm sorry, just said it wrong. enlp, the number 7.com. enlp, the number 7.com.
Great. Thank you.
That's the easiest way.
Thank you for coming on to our show today, Art. So that's all we've got time for today, ladies and gents. And thank you for home and tuning in. If you want more information, do log on to www.amitkane.co.uk, or you can check us out on YouTube. We'll see you next week for more Get Close to the Truth.
To find out more about Amit Kane, please take a look at his new book called The Gift, 7 Laws of Success, out now in all major bookstores. This show is sponsored by Great Kingdom Palace, giving life a meaning.